What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video, and today we are going to be taking a break from the mock draft and go on to reacting to Mel Kiper's new mock 3.0. So this is gonna be fun. I've only seen really the top 10 picks because obviously ESPN likes to broadcast Mel's top 10 picks. So we're gonna have fun. We're gonna dive into it. You guys are gonna hear my reactions live because, of course, making pre-recorded shit is not fun for you, and it's not fun for me. So let's have some fun here. By the way, I absolutely despise that dude. I don't think he's a very good commentator or whatever. But let's dive into this. Starting off with the number one pick, good old Mel is going with the same old shit. So it's Trevor Lawrence. We don't really need to talk about it. It's a guaranteed thing, and it's a good pick. It's a good pick overall. Jets going Zach Wilson. So I heard him talk about like the league trying to point towards trying to go against Sam Darnold, and I'm personally for it. Again, I don't think you want to pay Sam Darnold that type of money in the future if he really isn't it. And again, the ceiling for Wilson, we talked about Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. It's a legit thing. So I think that that's something that we should probably be willing to take a chance on if we were the Jets. The team's been pretty crap as it is. Again, like, you can always make as many excuses for not Zach Wilson, for Sam Darnold as you want, but at the end of the day, he could put up over 200 yards with the weapons he does have, and he only did that like twice last season. It's a little bit ridiculous. Like, you can put up maybe one or two good statistical games, and I don't care. Like, it just doesn't matter what your surrounding situation is. Like, dude, there are quarterbacks who have been able to at least have one good game out of the season. I'm tired of hearing all the excuses about him being sick and stuff like that being the reason why he sucks. So it's like, I fully support this. Again, I think that they might be going with Sam Darnold for one more year, just seeing like, hey, can you actually be good? And if they do that, I trust that they know what's best for their squad. But I really think that this should be the pick. But I mean, it would be fun to see that it wouldn't be and they trade out. Speaking of trading out, the Dolphins trade back and let Carolina move up and select, of course, Justin Fields, which, I mean, I like the Justin Fields to Carolina. I do like it, but I'll say this. But I've been watching Penei Sewell here because I'm actually making a scouting report on him. God bless. And I'm in awe. This guy is unreal. I think that he's better than what people are saying is a generational talent. I think people have gotten so bored of him, just like Trevor Lawrence, that I wouldn't mind a team trading up to 2 to take Penei Sewell. It's amazing. It's amazing. And plus, by the way, he's going to fall here, which is ridiculous. But Carolina moving up, good pick. Good pick. Falcons getting Lance again with Matt Ryan restructuring. It really, yeah, like it's going to be really difficult to move on from Matt Ryan even until 2022. So I think that's 2023 where it's going to be like, oh, we're not fucked. And I mean, you're going to be coming up towards the end of his contract. Trey Lance is not going to be an Aaron Rodgers type prospect. He's an amazing prospect from his potential, and I understand why. But right now, he needs time to develop, which is a great spot for him. But he should be coming out in 2 years, not coming out in 3, not coming out in 4, coming out in 2. He should sit this year and coming out in the next year. This is not really the location for it. I think a team like the Patriots, like the Broncos, could definitely try to trade up to this spot. And if I were Atlanta, I'd be so willing to trade back to that spot. That'd be a great, great haul for you. But I might be doing that in the future. Again, Atlanta, that restructure just definitely changes the outlook on it. Bengals going Kyle Pitts over Jamar Chase after the 4.46. Wouldn't mind it. Again, Penei Sewell is there. I think that you probably go with it. Again, there's not really another target like Kyle Pitts that we've seen in a very, very long time. But when we compare him to Travis Kelce, when we compare him to Darren Waller, there are guys in the league who have similar skill sets. So I wouldn't say that he is the most insane, unique unicorn that Megatron was, because there are guys who are semi-comparable to Pitts. He's an amazing player, and I think he should be going top 5, and I think he probably will. I think there might be a team that trades up to 4 to select him. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if the Eagles traded up to 4 to select him. But if we're going to be honest, this isn't a horrible pick. Penei Sewell's on the board, though. And if you use him as a right tackle, I think you'll be perfectly fine. with how agile he is, he can play anywhere on the offensive line. I'd be perfectly happy with it. Honestly, if the Bengals wanted to trade out of here for like maybe getting another first and then have a team select Pitts there and then them select Rashawn Slater later on, Rashawn Slater. Um, I mean, I wouldn't mind that at all, given the fact that they do need line help everywhere in that offensive line. But still, I mean, they do have they did I believe bring in Riley Reef, so that's why I don't think it's that pressing of an issue. Kyle Pitts is an amazing player. If they do this, I won't be going through the roof. It's still an amazing pick. Kyle Pitts deserves it. 4.46 speed, which is absolutely ridiculous. Again, you could see all their gains right there versus losses. They did lose quite a bit. But yeah, of course, they replaced Bobby Hart with Riley Reef, who is a good veteran, who'd be able to coach up Penei Sewell, in my opinion. Eagles getting Jamar Chase. I mean, if Pitts is off the board, that's an amazing pick, great pick. Smith to the Lions, I think is a good trade back spot, but again, don't really mind it that much. You do have Tyrell Williams to attract those larger corners, so I really wouldn't mind it at all. Brashad Perriman is a good deep threat, but I really wouldn't mind it. I think it's a good pick. Next with the Dolphins, again, I'm not a fan of this too much. You have a pretty solid wide receiver core, and again, the line could be the issue. I just think that right tackle spot or left tackle spot, if you want to move Austin Jackson over there, it's a pretty big issue. So if you guys wanted to get Rashawn Slater, if you guys really believe he could be a tackle, I think that'd be great. But I can't complain about Jalen Waddle. He's such a good target. Again, I just don't like the idea of pairing him with Tua Tagovailoa. We don't even think he's going to be the starter. He hasn't shown that he's going to be an elite quarterback, which again, if you guys know me, I'm not in favor of paying pretty good to mediocre quarterbacks unless they're pretty damn good. Like I think a Mac Jones could be pretty damn good in the right scheme, which again, that's probably why his value shouldn't be that high. In like a really good defense, like a Jimmy G can carry him the way. That's fine. But we saw Tua he got carried by his defense, but still couldn't do crap. So I'm just I think that he'll be able to get into it this year. I have hope for him, but I just don't like the idea of selling out. But trading back to get Jalen Waddle, wouldn't mind that too much. Again, this is the whole entire reason why I'm like a little bit worried about like stuff like this. We don't get to see what the second round is. I want to see what the strategy is, Mel. So, I mean, I know he's not going to ever do a 2-round or a 3-round anytime soon, at least. But, I mean, it would just help clarify so much to me as well as the rest of the draft community on what the hell he thinks. So the Vikings traded up with the Broncos, which, again, I honestly think that's a great idea now, especially if Penei Sewell's on the board. Again, another spot where they could have taken Penei Sewell. Just, it's a little bit ridiculous to me. The Vikings taking Penei Sewell would be great if it went to here, and then the Broncos trading back. I think that's an excellent trade. Even if they trade up for Rashawn Slater, or Rashawn Slater, I don't know if his actual name is Rashawn. I love it. I love it. Regardless, I think it's a great trade up because, again, this team definitely needs it. Not to mention that they do need some extra defensive presence. Cowboys getting Surtain, again, just ran like a 4.46, 4.47, I believe. Maybe even, it might have been different than that. But I know he ran the 4.4s. I'm just a little bit worried if, like, by what I saw on tape, I don't care what his actual numbers are if he doesn't play at those numbers. So it's nice to see that he can get there. That's definitely a big plus. Now let's see him play at that speed. I think the nice little chemistry with Trevon Diggs is going to be a very big selling point. But again, I think both these players actually played a lot slower than what they ran. Like Trevon Diggs, people were saying, "Oh, I don't want a slow ass secondary." He ran the 4.4s again. So it's a little bit worrisome to me to see how these two guys tested well but played slowly in college. Just a weird idea. Giants getting pay. I think the big question is more on the offense with Rashawn Slater there, being able to put him in at that guard spot where you lost Zeitler. That to me is, I don't think you go Kwity Paye here. As much as I'm a big Kwity Paye guy. I love Kwity Paye. But I think you really got to go with that line there, man. It's a great option. I know you guys love that pick. The Giants fans, you love that pick. And I would too. He's so fast. He could actually probably keep up with Saquon Barkley. I think that Rashawn Slater, if he hasn't already ran, or Rashawn Slater, I think that he could rock a solid 4.6. Like, he's that fast on tape. He's ridiculous. Caleb Farley, again, I think that now he's going to drop a bit further, which is unfortunate. But, I mean, your head scout literally told me verbatim it will drop his draft stock. So with that with that worry in my mind, yeah, my mock's kind of thrown out the window, by the way. It's just a little bit annoying. It's only the 49ers that really fucked my mock, by the way. But yeah, I think he's gonna drop a bit further than that, given his injuries. Chargers getting Rashawn Slater is pretty solid. I just think that you should be going for a true left tackle, and if you think that he will be, he tested his arms are long enough. I think you go with Rashawn Slater. I think he's really good. If you don't think so, go Darisaw. If those are the two guys, those are the only two guys I'll ever draft for the Chargers. Big fan of it. Again, you can also play guard as well, but you know, there's definitely things that I'd much rather go with if you're gonna just be playing him at guard, because I know there's some good other guards later in the second round and stuff. Broncos going Micah Parsons. Yeah, that's a good ass pick. That's a really good pick. Patriots going Mac Jones. It's at 15, so I wouldn't mind it, especially if a guy like Michael Parsons is not there. I wouldn't mind it because I know that they're building the team for a Cam Newton, but it would be perfectly fine if Mac Jones were able to slot in there. So I wouldn't mind it too much. Again, if they miss out on the Trey Lance sweepstakes, that's where I'd be like, okay, you could take Mac. This team's just ready to win now, so I don't know. I'm a little bit worried, but he is pretty good. Next, we got Arizona going JC Horn, and I think JC Horn's gonna. I think if you swap this and the Farley pick, it's more realistic. JC Horn, he's the real deal, guys. And right now, I believe he's testing, so I don't think that we've had any new numbers on him. Basically, being able to. I don't think he's been able to. Yeah, he hasn't tested yet. So, he did test an Exo Combine 441. We'll see what he does at his pro day, but he's a really talented guy, guys. I've watched him play against Kyle Pitts. I was looking at one-on-one. He dealt with Kyle Pitts better than any other safety, corner, linebacker in the entire conference. You know, he did a really good job. Jamin Davis at this next pick, that's a big riser. For someone who played 11 starts, I don't think that he will be drafted that high, but he does have some talent flashes that could be that good. So I think that he should be a second round pick for sure. Big fan of Jamin Davis. But this high, I'm not really feeling that, especially with other guys on the board. Like, of course, Nick Bolton. You got JOK on the board. You got Zaven Collins. You got, Baron Browning. I'm not that high on Baron Browning, but even Baron Browning. You know, Jamin Davis is really good, though. I wouldn't be too pissy because it seems more like a Raiders type of move. But, at least it fills a position of need, right? Dolphins going Jalen Phillips. Again, I love Phillips. Think he's a top 10 to 12 talent in this draft class. I don't know why they have different links on both of his names, but I think that he's an excellent player. Excellent player. Just these concussions scared the shit out of me, man. They scare the shit out of me. I wouldn't draft until the second round. But if he is able to play, this is easily one of the better steals of the draft. They do need pass rush. So, again, hesitant, but again, there's also Darce on the board. Yeah, I'm definitely leaning away from that pick, guys. Washington, God dang it, man. What the hell? Why? Why would you Mel, you're having a damn good mock, and then you do this shit. They have 2 tackles at 29 years old, man. Gaping hole at left tackle. Really? God. Bell, come on, man. It's a little ridiculous. Bears getting Vera Tucker. I think that you should just go a true tackle there. But, it just depends on what teams think of Vera Tucker. I think he's a guard. And I guess he could take Jermaine Ifedi's spot. And then he could fill in for a tackle spot until he kicks into guard. That'd be okay. But, again, not too big of a fan, to put it lightly. We could even go a corner here. If we're going to be honest, we could go a guy like Greg Newsome. Then you could replace Kyle Fuller. That wouldn't be too horrible in my eyes. Colts getting Gregory Rousseau, though. Again, you got to get a left tackle, man. I don't get it. Has a hole, a huge freaking hole. So I know Gregory Rousseau has insane potential, but man, I was getting so hyped up that Mel was doing a really good mock. Titans getting Kadarius Toney. That's interesting. I think AJ Brown takes a little bit more of that after the catch type of role. Why not just get a Rashad Bateman who can get open? Kind of fill that Corey Davis role really well with the guy who could be similar to a Justin Jefferson. And it's like, I don't know. Not a big fan of that either. Even if you want to go a cornerback there, there's still Greg Newsome on the board. Jets getting JOK. That wouldn't be a horrible idea because they got Jared Davis for 1 year, and they're even thinking about potentially shipping away CJ Mosley. And they also lost their slot corner in Brian Poole. So it wouldn't be horrible. So I'm not going to get mad at it. It's a pretty good pick. I just think that they could probably go with offensive line there or something. But again, wouldn't mind it too much, to put it lightly. Tevin Jenkins to the Steelers. I think that if you're going to get a man of his size and put him at a tackle, you need to have an immobile quarterback. I can honestly see the Niners trading back and then selecting him, if we're going to be honest, and putting him at guard. Again, I do know some things inside the front office, and they definitely like him. So, I mean, Tevin Jenkins they called him a dancing bear. That's the actual quote. And that just means he's huge and he moves pretty well for his size. He is super clunky, though. But with an immobile quarterback like a Jimmy G, like a Ben Roethlisberger, it will work. It will work very well. And then you can kick him into guard if you ever want to get a more mobile quarterback, and then he'll probably be a Hall of Famer. That is my bold prediction. Jaguars getting Trevon Merrick, not bad move. I moved up to pick 32 to take him. So, really, really good move. I still think that you could get a lineman right there because, again, really, you're gonna freaking say that Cam Robinson is gonna be great? No. Browns getting Zaven Collins. I know they need pass rush as well as a linebacker. Wouldn't mind it too much. I'm just worried about his speed. I'm really worried about his speed in a division where you have Lamar Jackson, which is pretty much a super mobile hybrid wide receiver, running back, quarterback, just taking it off every single play. But the other two quarterbacks are pretty immobile. So 2 games a year, he might be a little bit of a liability. I'm going to take that any day of the week. So next, we got the Ravens getting Terrace Marshall. You guys know me. I like trading back and getting him later on. So it's a pretty good pick. I like him. Next, we got the Saints, and we got Tutu Atwell. Oh, my God. Tutu Atwell. I think that, they probably need a linebacker here. I normally go with a weapon, but Kadarius Toney's off the board. Personally, I'd be rocking a Nick Bolton here. You did lose. I don't know why it's not on the notable free agent losses. I think it's probably because they might have cut him, but they lost their star linebacker there in Quan Alexander. So I don't get why you're getting Tutu Atwell. It's just you can use him on jet sweeps. Okay, cool. He kind of sucks after the catch. If you guys want to see my scouting report on him, please let me know down in the description. And then, again, I have a Twitter where I post whenever I do a new one. It's just, Greg Newsome, 4.3844 at their pro day. Okay, well, I thought it was 4.31, but regardless, that's still really good time. He's really, really good, really good. So I'm a big fan of Newsome here to the Packers. I think, again, there are guys like ASJ who could be another fit here. Nick Bolton. There's definitely guys you could slot in, but this is a really, really good pick. I wouldn't mind it at all. I think he goes before this, though. Bills going Najee. Yeah, okay. I think, again, they probably should go with a guy who is a little bit more to an RBBC, unless they just want to use him as a bell cow back. I think that getting a guy under the likes of, well, Javonte Williams would be really good. But if they want to use them as bell cow, Najee Harris would be pretty good in this scheme. Chiefs getting Eichenberg, that's a steal. He should be gone earlier, but that's a really good deal. Buccaneers ending off Christian Barmore. Unfortunately, they did just bring back Ndamukong Suh, so that kind of, I guess it's a little bit after the fact. But before, I would be perfectly fine with it. It's a pretty good deal. But let me know what you guys think. That's what I want to know. Hit the like button, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. I'll see you on the far side. Peace.